What's going on, YouTube? Note to self. Make sure your lighting is adequate when you shoot before you put everything away, dummy. I'm going to talk today about 10-ounce bar stack. A year ago, about a year and a half ago. About a year and a half ago, somewhere in there. The only two things I had that you see were the top left and top right of the screen. The America the Beautiful quarters, 5-ounce pieces. That was it. I had none of these 10-ounce bars. I had none of these 5-ounce bars. And I did not have that Aztec 5-ounce round in the middle. Now, the backstory behind that. I had two 10-ounce bars. They were Atmex bars. They were stackable. They were pretty cool. I didn't buy a lot of the 10-ounce stuff back then, or the 5-ounce. And that was part of what I had to sell when I had something come up and I was a tad overextended. And I remember how that felt. It bothered me a lot. So in the last year and a half, somewhere in there, I've been able to add all of this except for the two ATB coins up there, or rounds, excuse me. And how I was able to do that, and this is on top of, the ounce of gold or so I've added in that period, which I need to step that game up. I need to step the 10-ounce bar game up as well. That's on top of the rounds. I buy a lot of 1-ounce rounds. That's on top of the constitutional. I buy a lot of constitutional coins. That's on top of what I invest in, paper markets and savings. So it's not just this that I've added in that period of time. So anyway, I had to sell that stuff, and it bothered me because I didn't have many of those sizes, right? So what I did is I got really aggressive because I wanted to replace it quickly. I think I did okay. I think I did pretty good. I do have something that came in today. We're going to open that later because I have something else coming in tomorrow. So like I said, I'm not just, that's not a 10-ounce bar. I'm not just stacking 5 and 10-ounce bars. But in that time frame, I was able to do this. And what did I do? Well, okay, let's say, and I was going out spending money on stuff. Let's say you get a $5 coffee at Starbucks or BlackRock or Dutch Brothers, whatever your jam is, okay? You get that coffee and it's $5 with tip. And a lot of times it's more. Okay, well, what's a 5-ounce bar? It's what, $130, give or take? Okay, well, $5 a day in 26 days, it's gone. Okay, you go out to eat a decent meal at a sit-down place a couple times a week. Well, that's gone in 2 to 5 visits, depending on what you spend. But when you stop doing those things, guess what happens? They come back to the stack. If you hear the fan, by the way, I apologize, but you're going to have to deal with it because it's hot in here. Please take a minute to like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my strategy, what I've done, what I'm doing, and how I felt about it, and my experience. So that's what I did. And I got really aggressive about it. And I think cutting costs is great. I don't think it's a good idea, and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a health advisor, but I don't think it's a good idea to save money by eating terrible food because it's cheap. I think that's a really bad idea, because what happens if you build your stack, right? This is for my retirement, okay? This is part of my retirement plan. What happens if I do that and I die early because I ate the wrong foods and I don't get to enjoy any of the security I've built for myself? Well, it's a waste, right? So I definitely don't think that's a good way to go. I don't think cutting that cheap gym membership, unless you're going to still work out, is a good way to go. If you got a cheap membership, keep it. Unless you can go work out at the park for free, whatever. But if you're not going to do it, keep that. There are things that are worth cutting and things that are not worth cutting, in my opinion. We're stackers. We have that long-term mindset. Okay, it's the same thing with our longevity. We don't want to make choices to preserve our wealth that are going to jack up our health, right? I drive the beater. Doesn't have AC. I probably look like I don't have insurance going down the road. I look like I don't have any money. It's that pour on paper thing. And I do have some paper assets, if you will. But I look a lot poorer on paper than I really am, and that's what I want. Okay, going down the road, I look poor. People don't expect anything out of me. I don't dress flashy. I mean, I'm not wearing torn up clothes, but I'm just your average, everyday looking dude. That's what I want. I don't want to look like I have anything, because then people expect something. You know, I like to cut costs. It makes sense to me, okay? It makes sense to stack dents, okay? I want to stack as much metal as I can for the least amount of cash. And that's what I do. And you know, sometimes I don't go without meals. Some people do. Silver Chair Stacker goes without meals to stack. Okay, go check him out too. I'll put a link in the video. He's awesome, and he openly talks about it. I don't do that. I respect that he does. That's awesome. That's phenomenal. That's dedication. You know, how bad do we want it? Because, like I said, when we start making bad choices and these start to disappear, well, guess what? Then these start to disappear, and before you know it, your stack is depleted. Start making the right choices, they come back. Okay, so excuse me. Again, not a financial advisor, but that's what I did. I had to sell it. I hated it. I got really aggressive, adding it back to the stack, cutting costs as much as I could. And you know, sometimes I go out and I spend money on stupid crap. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I go get that meal I don't need. You know, where I could cook at home, or that. You know, usually when I go get coffee, it's a McDonald's coffee or something. It's pretty good for the price. You know, I use a French press, make my own coffee. It's phenomenal. It's delicious, and I save a ton of money. You know, not to say I won't go get that nice, you know, cup of coffee once in a while, but it all matters, you know, about if it's feasible in the budget. And I think most people would be surprised if they really look at what their, you know, where their money's going, what they're spending it on, and how quickly they can add cash to the stack, so that they can add metal or savings or whatever the goal is. You know. So anyway, this is the full 10-ounce bar stack. At this point in time, I probably need to add some more, but I've done this in probably 12 to 16 months, realistically, on top of everything else. Not too shabby. Again, I buy a lot of rounds. I buy a lot of 90%. I've added some gold, stocks, corporate bonds, savings. You know, it's not just what you see here. But I probably need to add more 10-ounce bars. I'm pretty sure I'm missing some 5-ounce pieces. They're probably tucked in the safe somewhere. But yeah, you know, 12, 14, 16 months ago, didn't have one 10-ounce bar in the stack. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you found it motivating. I hope if you have had to sell, you're willing to share your story, your experience. You know, if you're going through that rebuilding status on the stack, if you're comfortable sharing that, drop it in the comments. You know, let's have a conversation. Let's get things going. Like the video, subscribe to the video, support your boy, and don't forget, keep stacking.